Sky's reporter Michael Drummond is with me now, having written this report. Michael, thanks for joining us. Tell us more.
Thank you. As you say, almost 100 British troops were assigned to guard this site near Basra called Qarmat Ali. It was a water treatment plant, and it was considered critical to getting Iraqi oil flowing in the opening months of the Iraq War. They were there. This site was in a state of disrepair. Things were crumbling. Metal had been looted. But what they didn't know was that it was also contaminated with a chemical called sodium dichromate, this orange powder that's used to prevent corrosion in pipes. But it was in bags and bags of it, piled up, cut open, and open to the wind and blowing around. Soldiers there at the time reported having nosebleeds and skin lesions, and they had no idea why. It was a mystery until two workers wearing hazmat suits and respirators put up a sign with a skull and crossbones on it saying, "Danger, toxic chemical, sodium dichromate." And they wondered why they had been guarding that all this time. And more than that, they wondered why they still had to guard it after that. And now, 20 years later, lots of them are having health problems. Some have had cancer. In the US, a senior commander died after being exposed to this sodium dichromate.
It will jog people's memory to know that this is a chemical from the family of chemicals that Erin Brockovich, the storied American lawyer, was fighting against in the States, which obviously went on to be a famous movie. Michael, you mention a man, Sergeant Andy Tosh, in your piece. Tell us a little bit more about him specifically.
Exactly. Well, we spoke to 10 veterans who served at Qarmat Ali, and at the time, Sergeant Andy Tosh was one of the officers there, and he served there and was exposed to this chemical along with the others. And he was the first person that we spoke to about it, and he wonders why they were put there at all. I mean, in the time since he's been treated for skin cancer, he has had red marks on his hand, the same hand that would have been exposed to the wind and the elements, holding his weapon and moving things around. And he wonders why they were told to go there at all. Who knew what and when. He, along with the others, are really keen to have an apology from the government, from the Ministry of Defence, and some answers, perhaps in the form of a public inquiry.
So look, here we are, more than 20 years later. What is the Ministry of Defence saying?
So they've issued a statement today, and alongside that, they have said that they're willing to meet with these guys, with these veterans who are at Qarmat Ali, to find out more about what's happened. I mean, looking at their statement, they say, as soon as they were alerted to the possible exposure of sodium dichromate, an environmental survey was conducted to evaluate typical exposure at Qarmat Ali. And they also say that anyone who requires medical treatment can receive it through the Defence Medical Services and other appropriate services.